Hey, what's up, everybody? Hello. Hope you're having a good day. We're back with another spotlight. This was supposed to be last week. And just before we get going, shout out to Driver 53's boss in real life for being flexible. Yeah, so we were supposed to do this last week. We were supposed to have this week off from streams, but I went and got sick and was out a couple of days and only came back like a week ago. So I wanted to make sure that my voice was fully back before I got going. So hello to everyone in chat on our Community Corner YouTube channel and also on Twitch. Hope you're all doing well. And yeah, with me, the guest of honor over here, Driver 53, Giants partner and YouTuber. Say hello to everybody, Driver.
It's me. It's me. It's Driver 53. Welcome in, everybody. Thank you very much for being here today.
Hey, wow. Well done. That might be the best self intro in the spotlights yet. Although DJ Goham, I see him in chat, he would probably argue for his "What up, dude?" I'm
Yeah,
sure
yeah.
that.
Completely different level there. Yeah.
Oh, it's good to see everybody. I hope you're ready for a good time. I love these spotlights. Always love giving back to the community, showing awesome things that people are doing, letting you get to know people better, and also it's a good learning experience for me because I know Driver. We've talked here and there, but I always feel like I learn a lot too when I sit down with our guests and have these chats. So I always look forward to these. Because of the whole like schedule mix up, we are going to have back to back spotlights. So next week we'll be back, same time, same channels with Mayan Prophet, who is a Facebook partner. And I'm looking forward to showing him to you all and letting you all get to know him better too. But for today, Driver 53 is the man. He's our focus. Great DJ impersonation. I've spent enough time around and with that guy that I think I have nailed the "What up, dude" pretty well. All right, Driver. Let's get started. Without further ado, uh,
Absolutely.
what was your first farming simulator game that you played?
19.
Oh,
So back
okay.
when everything happened in 2020, it was a free game on PlayStation Network in the month of April. So April 28th, 2020, I decided to play Farm Sim over what was it, SimCity. Those are the two games, or City
Okay.
Skylines, something like that. And yeah, the rest is history, right? I dove in pretty hard over those next couple months that I had off from work, and yeah, I haven't looked back. So
Well, wow, I think you're probably at least the second, if not the third person that's been on the spotlight that started around the same time when it was free on PlayStation Plus. I can't. I
and there
feel
wasn't
like
much else to do.
Tony Miff may be one of those as well, or maybe he's been playing longer because I know he started on PlayStation and only like about a year or so ago switched to PC. So I think he might be one of the others, but I can't remember in my brain. That's cool though. I was actually watching a streamer recently, and this has happened before too. He said that he started streaming it pretty much as a joke initially. Like he was like, okay, I doubt I like this or whatever, or we'll see. We'll make fun of it, and now he loves it. He plays it all the time. So the joke's on
Yeah,
him.
yeah, yeah. So mine, I started playing and got into it. Didn't really think about making any content or anything. Actually, played the game like 2 weeks without knowing what mods were at all. Played on Ravenport, right?
Okay.
Terraformed all that out, up to the cliffs and everything. And then was like, all right, I'm gonna see what DLC is about, right? Because I've got some money now. We're good. And there's like free mods, and it's like, holy cow, like the game
Right.
completely changed. And then my kid, my oldest, was like, Dad, you should start making videos in, because I kind of made a few videos on Wreckfest when it launched. So just kind of, started making some stuff again. Had a storyline going on Stone Valley. It was a new map, and yeah, he man, if it wasn't for him, I don't think I would have done this. Just him being like, hey, you should do this. So
Wow. Okay.
shout out to him for giving me the first push there to do it.
That's cool. Yeah, there's always that person, right, that you can always like call back to that kind of pushed you along. I have this a similar person in my content creation journey, who I'm still friends with to this day, and they can be from anywhere in the world too. That's the cool thing about it. He's from London. He's lived there his entire life, but like yeah, the connections that you can make with people. over video games and streaming content creation is really cool. By the way, Darius Frost over on Twitch, thanks so much for that raid. Shout out to you for that, buddy. Much appreciated. Okay, that's cool. So, what was it like about it? Like, other than it being free, like, was there something else that like kind of made you initially want to be like, okay, I'm gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna give it a go.
Well, for the game, playing the game itself, I'm kind of like engineer minded, right? I'm a drafter at my work, and they've given me light engineering type stuff. So managing things and seeing, having a goal, and achieving that end goal is a really, really big thing. I mean, I set goals and I strive to get them right. It doesn't matter what I do. Like I'm very goal oriented. So playing the game, it allowed me to like manage little things, like especially in a time when things were incredibly unknown what was going to happen.
Right.
It allowed me to like kind of escape from out of everything and just forget about it, but still be able to like keep my mind busy and building and organizing things in a controlled environment. Right? That's what originally drew me to the game. And then, all the mods and everything like that, man, it was just the expansiveness, free range really. And and then on the side of making videos, I wanted just gameplay, right? And then started realizing that wasn't really going anywhere, wasn't really getting subscribers and stuff. So then I started really honing into a couple YouTube channels that really help younger channels figure out what's going on, right? And how to improve your product back to your audience. And there were some gut check moments, there really were. And I made a switch away from gameplay into more tutorial type and educational type content. And man, precision farming launched in December, and we exploded.
Okay.
It was insane growth when precision farming came out, because I was like, okay, I've heard about this thing. I'm going to go in here and this is what I'm going to focus on. Right. And you can ask some of the guys in chat. I mean, we call it the rabbit hole, but I definitely dove down into that really, really hard. And, that was really the biggest kickstart to the channel that showed me that, hey, we got something here and we'll just keep running with it.
Right. Yeah, I love that. Back when precision farming first came out for FS19, that was before I was hired by Giants. And so I may have even watched one of your videos because I remember when it came out, I was like, is this for me? Is it not? Like, I need to learn it a little bit. And I think that what a lot of people don't realize about precision farming is they like look at it and they think this is going to make my life exponentially harder playing the game, but it actually does the opposite once you figure it out. It helps you not waste as much materials. It really streamlines a lot of things in a way. And then there's a little extra like initial costs and stuff. But once you start using it, you'll find that it can actually be pretty helpful for you instead of hindering you. So
Oh yeah.
yeah, it's great that you kind of found that way with the tutorial type stuff, because the first thing I'll always tell people, I'm working a lot. Part of my job, of course, is to talk to people like yourself and others who are already established content creators of the game. But there's also campaigns we're always doing on places like Keymailer and Lurkit and others that we've worked with over the last year or two, where we're trying to get new people. Maybe they're already a Twitch partner or a YouTuber or whatever. They're creating content for other games, but we want them to give Farming Simulator a try and see what they think about it. And one of the things I'm always telling them to do is check out the Academy now that it exists, but also go to YouTube and find people that have a tutorial on like everything. There's no better way to learn Farming Simulator than by learning it from the people who have put in the time and the effort, the blood, sweat, and the tears, metaphorically speaking, of like, messing with a new mod and figuring out how it works. Because if you haven't sat down and spent time with a brand new map, for example, maybe the map doesn't have visible like triggers for where you need to dump stuff in, for example, because they've gone the more realistic route. How can you find those things? It's not always clear, and YouTube videos are usually like the best way to do it. Farmer Cop, by the way, with the raid on YouTube just a minute ago. Thanks so much, buddy. Good to
How's
see
it going,
you.
FC?
Hopefully your stream went well, dude.
Yeah, and
Um,
that was one of the big things that before precision farming, I started doing map tours, right? I saw a couple
okay.
other people doing it, and I just kind of wanted to get into it and see what it was about. And I kind of looked at things a little bit differently, right? And then after precision farming came out, I started looking at the maps from the precision farming, side of things, also looking at the soil maps and stuff. And I actually had some shorts that we created. Virgil Tantor he was a PC player because I was on console still at the time. and he would go in, buy the whole map, and send me screenshots of what all the different soil maps look like, and I would make shorts out of that, and those actually did pretty well right off the bat. And yeah, it was kind of cool to be able to do that and start giving back. And I think that's really what led me into doing even more the tips and tricks and things like that, because I saw that the community was really looking just for information, instead of so much entertainment. Not that entertainment's bad. I mean, we obviously stream a couple times a week and do other things gameplay style. But yeah, I think the information, like you were saying with the academy, that's an awesome thing that Giants has added now into for the game. And man, there's so many different avenues that you can go down, even with all that information that you already give, like different ways
Right.
we can proceed, or new mods and stuff that kind of change some of that stuff a little bit. And that's where we really try and hone in and help players, because I mean, you're always trying to figure out how to do things faster or more efficient. Not everybody, right? But there's a segment of the audience or players that want to do it cheaper, make more money, and do it faster, right? Just like real
Right.
farming. I mean, you're always trying to figure out how to save money, make more money, and get it done quicker, right? So
Yeah,
that's
there's a lot of nuances to Farming Simulator, like, and the way you do things may not be the way someone else does things. Just what in the world is that?
sorry, that's the phone.
The farm is. I thought maybe Farmer Cop's raid. He was like coming after us. It almost sounded like a siren. Farmer Cop's
Yeah,
coming to
yeah.
get us. Uh, yeah, like take silage for example. One of my other parts of my job is I'm always sitting with Discord open most of the time while I'm working. It's in the background. Shout out to all our mods on there who do a great job of helping people out and keeping it nice and clean. But yeah, people ask that question a lot, like how do you do this in the game? And it's not always a simple answer, because when it comes to silage, it's like, well, which of the ways do you want to do it? Like it really comes down to preference, right? Do you want to put it in a bunker and compact and fill it up? Do you want to wrap the bales and wait for them to ferment? Like, it's not as easy as just saying like go do this. And then like you said, once you start adding in all the mods and things that change the gameplay, yeah, there's a lot to it. But that's one of the things that I personally love about the game, because with our mod community and how great they are, the game's always staying fresh, and you could play the game for 1,000 hours and then say, okay, the next 1,000 I want to do something completely different, and it's easy to do that, which is cool.
I mean, root crops and you get animals. I mean, logging was, I mean, that was the big thing for a couple months. I mean, I think we've kind of not moved away from it, right? But we've kind of had a little bit of a fill, right, for a little bit on logging. But I still love all the equipment. You know what I mean? And I think small scale logging, the expansion was phenomenal. It really it gave us a different way, right? At that 1 year break, it gave us a different way to play the game. And with the couple mods, like the containers, the Giants added in there, that was awesome to be able to move high volume of logs easily. I really like that, and direction that we can go with that too. So
Right, yeah. Sometimes those forwarders can really be a pain to load the logs manually with. So yeah, the thing with the game is we always got to try to find the right balance of like giving you different types of options, because there's no real right way to play the game. There's so many different ways that you can choose to play it. So with mods,
yep.
of course, you can make it as easy or as difficult or however you want to do it, and that's great. So we were talking before the stream. You do like 3D modeling for your job, and you're talking about maybe you've been talking to 82 Studio, I believe, and like you've been talking to David, and maybe thinking about a little bit of modding yourself.
Yeah, so that's I'm a 3D modeler for an aftermarket suspension company. That's my day job. We do 3D solid modeling, not surface modeling like the game uses.
Okay.
And I've definitely talked to him before. I've actually got Blender on the PC right now, and just kind of gone in and messed around with it a little bit. It's just 3 kids, wife. My kids are in activities, right? I've got the YouTube channel, work full time.
Right.
There's not a whole lot of time. And my type of personality is, if I'm going to get into something, I'm going to get into it and devote some serious time to it so I can get good at it and proficient. So I've just been keeping that on the back burner. If I get an opportunity to spend a few hours a day on it, or a week, 10, 15 hours a week, then I think I'll get into it. Just 1 hour here and there, I'm not going to be happy with my
Oh
progression at
yeah,
all.
that you
Wait,
can't do
so
much. You can't even play Farm Sim as a game for an hour and get anything done. So if you're creating a mod for the game, an hour is going to be really tough too.
yeah,
We
well,
mentioned
all I can tell you,
82. Happy
this is
birthday to
like
82 Studios, by the way.
this is like some of the stuff that I do. I mean, this is a piston. It was taken out of one of my old race cars.
Okay,
So in school, we actually 3D modeled this and then printed it out. So this is the type of stuff that I can do right here. We do
awesome, man.
every day.
That's cool. That's really
Yeah.
cool. Um,
Hey, there's the wife, the queen, right there.
hello to the Queen. I love it. I always love these spotlights because you see like the family and the friends, the community from the guests show up, and so not only am I getting to like get to know you better, I get to know your community better too. I love it. Okay,
Yeah, there's
so
a ton of people up there.
yeah, I love it. And feel free to like bring the inside jokes always come out. So if you see anything from your community, feel free to shout it out. Don't worry if you interrupt me or
Pete,
whatever.
we're gonna keep pizza on the back burner too. I saw Alex comment about pizza earlier, but we're not gonna have
Yeah.
to worry about paying for any pizza today.
Okay. All right. Well, maybe one day. You're not that far from me, I learned. So we might have to get
Yeah,
together for pizza one day. We'll see.
we can. Oh man, that's gonna set them off. Oh,
uh,
but yeah, absolutely, we can get together for pizza. It's like a good Chicago style pizza. How about that?
yeah. Okay. I'm new to this area and I have had it since I moved here. And it has to be made right for me to like it because I mean, I
Yeah,
just like pizza. It's hard not to like pizza no matter like what style it is, but it's definitely different. So,
yeah, it's in its own food group over here in my household.
right. Okay.
Usually,
Fair.
it's like a pre-stream meal almost, whether it's on Wednesdays or Saturdays. Usually, one of those nights we have pizza.
All
So,
right. All right. Oh, I love it. Okay, so what was it? We talked about like how you got into the game initially, and you kind of
mhm.
already talked about like what got you really into it. But like, what was it about it that like you just decided to first keep playing it, and then like how soon after that did you decide, hey, I'm gonna try to make content for this? Had you done any content before?
Yeah, so I done a little bit of stuff, like career mode on Wreckfest. I think I made like 6 videos.
Okay,
I mean, they're still on the channel. I didn't take them off because I want that to stay there, just so I can in 20 years look back and be like, man, that was horrible, right? I learned so much from
right.
it. Like I said, my kid, my oldest one, said, hey, you should start making videos. And by that time, I started watching Mr. Saley P, and he, and not really his tutorial stuff, more his um like series, right, in Stone Valley. It was the first videos that I really started to watch of his. And I'd been watching DJ a little bit, showing how to play, have fun, right, have a good time. So I'm from Illinois originally, and Stone Valley was literally about an hour and a half, 2 hours away from where I grew up at. So I
Okay.
was like, hey, perfect opportunity for me to get in here and like build a story, right? I love telling stories, and that's what we started doing. And I think I did like 52 episodes or something like that on Stone Valley every single day. Just
Wow. Okay.
hammering them out. Yeah. And learned a lot about how to make content. It took me till like episode 35 or something before I got a comment. So that was rough. That was rough. But I mean, it was more of just kind of something just to kind of give me something else to do, right? Work was incredibly stressful at that time, just coming back. I'd only been back at work 2 weeks whenever we started making content, and just super high paced. And I just needed something to just de stress. And it was a great way to do that. Really helped with mental health, being able to dive in and just have that common thing. You know what I mean?
Right.
That was nice.
Yeah, and
And
especially at that time, it was important to have kind of like something to keep you busy. Were you able to like keep doing? Were you working at your current job back then too, or did you get it after the fact? Or
no, I've been in my job almost 10 years now.
so
So we
were
actually,
you able to like keep doing work like the same way, or like how did that impact you? Like,
so my job, I really don't interact with a whole lot of people at my office, right? So everything was at home. We got sent home in like March of that year. And we still haven't even gone back. Like my office is literally right there.
okay,
So, um, it, during the daytime you do that. And then in the evenings you move over and jump on the PlayStation and start making stuff. You know what I mean?
right,
It was just, we were dealing with you can't get parts, right? Because nobody was shipping anything, so you had to figure out ways in an engineering department. How can we make this work, right?
Right.
So we were the ones really spearheading a lot of that, and it was just a lot of super high priorities that we had to get knocked out fast, and it was always changing, right? I mean, every other day we're switching off to a different part or something, and a line and trying to make it run. And so we, a lot of us kind of got burnt out pretty quick on that. And so this was a great way for me to just like chill. I'd listen to YouTube videos in the background, DJ, Mr. Sleepy, started getting in the clutch, watching him a little bit. And, Farmer Cop started learning from him too. And watching his No Man's Land series was a great way to pass time, you know. And instead of the radio, because it was the same songs over and over, you know what I mean? For
Right.
you know
Yeah.
4 months of listening to that all the time, it was just yeah. So we're gonna something different. What it was.
Yeah, I almost always have like a stream in the background while I'm working, which like watching and listening to the streams I think is part of my work too. Um, so it's not like, I'm not slacking off by doing it, but I actually like interacting with people and it is nice to have in the background. So I totally
Mhm.
get where you're coming from when you're talking about that. Um, what was it like? Like what or going more like I guess present time.
Mhm.
Although FS22 has been out over a year, which is crazy. What has your favorite thing been so far about 22?
Man, the cross platform, honestly, just the ability to be able to, you know, get everybody together. I've got this group of people we call Stream Crew, and it really came about whenever we did the console versus PC challenge. Farmer Klein challenged us back in April of
Right.
last year, just to kind of see, how we kind of played differently. And I'll admit, I am on a PC now, but I still play like a console player. I've still got the PlayStation 5 right here, right? And so we were a console minded group, right? And they were a PC minded group. And it was, man, there was a lot of long hours put into those days. But that's really like I found this really awesome core group of people, and not everybody was on the same system. I mean, many of us were on PC, but we had PlayStation players, we had Xbox players, and it was so cool to be able to actually play together. Because I'd done a little bit of multiplayer in 19, right, with some other creators and just friends and stuff, and to be able to do that now over here, it was just like, man, this is absolutely insane to be able to have the possibility to have anybody that plays the game join in your game now.
Right.
To me, that was the biggest thing for the community, right? To grow that. Um, as far as like a game function, productions. I mean, I loved it. There were what were they like placeable factories, I think, in 19. Er Shaba and those guys, the VSR, I think, were the ones really focusing on those quite a bit, kind of adapting global companies over to the console. And we made a few videos on that in 19, and I really enjoyed them, right? So being able to have everybody have access to that now, like in a large scale, that was the biggest like feature of the game for me. That was awesome in 22.
I just want to point out a great story by the way about your wife saying it's really her PS5, but she'll let you claim it today.
Oh yeah, I mean, pink controller and all, right?
Oh, love it. I love it. Cool.
Yeah.
Um, what about maps? Like, what have your favorite maps on 22 been so far?
On 22, I really like Stone Valley still because, in 19, Lancey Boy made that American Life Farming where he added a lot more drainage and things going through the fields and made it feel a lot more realistic, right? Especially where I'm from. Now, I know some places in the world it is just absolutely flat and, big, massive fields. But where I'm from in central Illinois, you've got a lot of drainage, you've got a lot of tree edges and stuff like that. And I thought that really kind of was a nice change in direction because he did have some really big fields on there still, right? So when Stone Valley came out, he flipped it on its head, 180, right? And kind of changed it up a little bit, but it still felt really awesome. Like the elevation changes that he did, absolutely love that map. I'm a big fan of Iowa Plains View, or Iowa, yeah, Iowa Plains View. I really like that one too. Some of the additional things that they added in production wise were really awesome. And Walker's is fun, obviously, right?
right?
Um, I'm just trying to think of some of the others that we've kind of been using here on the map or on the servers. Griffin, Indiana.
That's
My
one of my favorites. I love that map.
Yeah. So super interesting thing about that. When my family came over from Germany, we actually settled about 15 minutes away from there in Illinois, right
Really?
across the
Okay.
Wabash River. Yeah. So my family's actually from Wayne and Clay counties in Illinois, which is about an hour away from Griffin. And I used
Okay.
to live in Louisville, so I've been right there on 64. I mean, literally hundreds of times, going right by Griffin. So
That's great. That's
yeah,
really
it's pretty
cool.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not that far from there now. I should go visit like the real life town of Griffin one day because it is one of my favorite
it'd
maps.
probably be about 5 hours for you, maybe six, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. It wouldn't be too bad.
It wouldn't be bad. No.
Yeah.
Get down, go down through Mount Vernon.
Yeah. Maybe I can work out a way to like go there for work one day, like go to a farm in Griffin. That would be cool, wouldn't it? We'll see.
That would be pretty awesome.
I haven't been on a farm since like July last year when we were in Kansas with Clutch and the Peterson Farm brothers doing the Kubota shoot. That was a good time. So yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna make it out to a farm this year or not, but you never know how things go.
Sorry, I was just
All good.
watching
Yeah, you
there,
gotta
seeing
check out chat, man. It's all
Alex's
good.
comment about one of my emojis will be used in chat during the streams.
Yeah, twerking man. Can you talk a
Yeah,
little bit about that?
yeah. So Torquay Can Man got named by the Queen.
Okay.
It's supposed to be a guy like sweating really bad, like cardio, right?
Okay.
So whenever my stream has me do like flying potatoes and different things, yeah, I my kids are a little bit heavier than 82s, right? They're a little bit older, and one of them, she's muscular for sure. And these guys get me going like 8, 10, 11 flying potatoes in a row. So we got the cardio, and some reason the Queen thought it looked like a person twerking. So chat picked up on that, and it's Twerky Man now.
That's great. I have everyone in chat now like saying, yeah, the community would there'd be plenty of offers for me to go out to their farms. Like JBot on YouTube is saying, and we've got Buddha over on Twitch chat saying, "Come to North Dakota, I'll let you run the combine." That's dangerous ground you're walking on there, Buddha. Letting me
I'm pretty
operate the
sure I know one
combine.
in Chesterfield. You could probably take a tractor or harvester around a couple of turns too.
Yeah, so far, like I've only been trusted to sit in the buddy seat with people running the equipment. Like we went to Laura Farms from the YouTube. We went to her farm in Nebraska with the squad back when we did like the launch video for 22,
Mhm.
basically. Yeah, I got to ride in the combine then, and then with the Peterson Farm Brothers, I just went out with actually one of Kubota's like dealers from the area who does a lot of the instructing of Kubota equipment for farmers that are in his district. He was showing me how they bale up their alfalfa, which was cool too. So yeah, you never know. Yeah, XR has its own farm too. He's been on the spotlight in the past.
Alex Ward, I think that would be a great but potentially train wreck idea. So I don't know if you heard about the group meetup that we did a couple years ago with 82, Alex Ward, Biscuit, Worker T, and myself all got together in St. Louis,
Okay.
and then last February we had a DJ into the mix, or March, sorry, DJ into the mix there in Ohio. And oh my goodness, man, it's like we've been best friends our entire lives, right?
Love it.
Two two really awesome streams, just hanging out, goofing off, hosted by an awesome place, Murphin Ridge Inn. Fantastic host. If you're looking for a place to get away and you want in the middle of cornfields in Amish country, definitely check out Murphin Ridge Inn.
Okay.
Andy the innkeeper. I'm sure you guys all have heard that name before. He's the host there, the owner. So
Cool.
definitely a great place. But I think there might be another one of those meetups happening again this year. And Alex is saying we might need to add you to the list.
Hey, I would love to come. We'll see.
I think it'd be
We'll
fun.
see. Yeah, that wouldn't be too far for me either. That'd be fun.
Yeah.
And DJ Goham, he needs every excuse to see me as much as possible too. So I know he'd be all about it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I hope to meet as many people as we can. Like we were talking a bit before the stream. Like we've been doing events in the U.S. for a long time now, but like now we have the U.S. office. We're still trying to hire that event coordinator. But me being like the community rep now, like it's a lot easier for me to get to events in North America. We just have to find the right fit and the right budget and things like that. We're going to be at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo again. I won't be there this year. We'll have a couple of guys from Germany coming over, and then PAX East. I am going to be at PAX East with Jenny from our events team and DJ Goham and Farmer Cop and the Farm Sim guy and Farmer Klein, and those guys are all confirmed. Jababo may join us, so hopefully more of you will join us here soon too. We'll be doing like an official announcement and hopefully doing like a community meetup somewhere in Boston during the event, maybe going out for a round of mini golf or something like that. But yeah, like you
Top
talked about
golf.
the,
You got to do Top Golf.
so Putt Shack is like a mini golf place that there's one actually in the Chicago area I've not been to yet. I went to one in London like a few years ago before the
Yeah.
pandemic. My wife and I went there on vacation, and it's kind of like Top Golf for mini golf because it's like got the high tech like microchipped ball. You don't have to keep score. You just hit the ball. It keeps score
Oh yeah,
for
we
you.
got one of those in St. Louis now.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. So
It
yeah, highly
it's
recommend it.
it's an old foundry that used to make like brake parts and heavy equipment, things like that. It actually was owned by the company that I work for now.
Oh, okay.
Um, so we sold it off, right? And then they've turned it into this kind of recreational type facility. There's shopping, there's restaurants, there's you know amusement type things, and one of them is one of those electronic mini putts. So
Great.
yeah,
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, Argsy in chat on YouTube saying PAX Australia, October. See you there, Kermit. Yeah, a little bit further away for me to get to, but I would love to come. We'll see. The thing is, it's like uh, we're becoming more and more worldwide. Like, 22 was released in more countries than ever before. So, like, we could go to a different like country for a different event like once a month and still like it would take us several years.
oh yeah,
We've got and
yeah.
so many people in the UK are asking for us to come there too, so we're kind of exploring doing stuff there.
Hey, and I want to give a really quick shout out to Sieber, man.
Okay,
Sieber
do
is
it.
one of the very first people to like help me with my channel, like give me tips and stuff. And he's the one that actually pointed me to this other channel called vidIQ. So,
Okay.
Sieber, man, thank you very, very much for that help a couple years ago that we're talking back now. Very instrumental in helping point this channel in the right direction.
I love that. Yeah, we talked about that just earlier on at the beginning. There's always those people that like kind of help push you along the way, and it's great to be able to make those friendships. It's really cool. By the way, you mentioned Lancey Boy a bit
Yeah, yeah.
earlier, and he is going to be a guest on the Spotlight coming up soon.
Oh,
Uh,
March, isn't it?
yeah,
Like,
March 15th. He will be
yeah,
the guest on the Spotlight. So looking
that's gonna be a
forward to
great
that
one.
one. Yeah, yeah, for sure. He reached out to me about like a different question via Discord, and it was the first time that I had ever like talked to him. And like I already knew him, of course. Like if you're
Mhm.
like a Farm Sim fan, you probably know Lancey Boy from the maps that he's made. And I was like, hey, thanks for reaching out. I'm a huge fan of yours. And he was like, wait, what? I'm just a modder, man. I'm like, no, trust me. Like I know who you are. So yeah, it's gonna be fun to chat with him because we don't we've had like David's been on.
Mhm.
We've
Hey, big
had
shout out to him. Today's his birthday. If you
yeah,
guys haven't
happy
yet,
birthday
go
to
give him
him.
a hard time. He's definitely not 21, like he says. Um,
20 with 21 years of experience is what he said.
yeah, you got to remind him he's an old man still.
Love it. Okay, so man, we're making good time. It seems like we've talked for like over an hour, but we're only 35 minutes in.
Yeah.
So I was about to try to speed things up, but we can just chill a little bit, slow things down. You see anything in chat you want to talk about right now?
Um, man, just like DJ saying, vidIQ. I mean, if you are a content creator that's looking for some help, definitely go check them out. I know there's a lot of names in here that I've seen that have done some stuff in the past. It's like DJ said, they've helped out massively, and absolutely. If that's one piece of advice that I can give to a content creator, if you're in here, go check that out. There's going to be some gut check moments, but it's going to be worth it. It really is.
Need to get Alien Jim. That'd be awesome. May need an alien translator though. That would be great. I need to find a way to get in contact with him, but I'm sure that you guys can tell him I've been wanting to speak to him because the Mercury Farms shed pack. Oh, that's one of my favorite like mod packs of all time, especially in 19. I use that so much. So yeah, shout out to Alien Jim. I would like to get more and more modders on in the future for sure. I know we're gonna people. I saw someone asking earlier. I think it was Taz in chat, but I don't remember exactly. But like Ola Haldor as well, who did the Renaboo map. Um, so there's like I could talk to modders and content creators every week for a year and still not cover everyone. So
I think Omatana would be a really interesting one.
I met Omatana at FarmCon last year, and she's really cool.
Yeah, she seems like a really awesome personality.
Yeah, she is definitely a personality, that's for sure. But yeah, her mods too. Like I've used so many of them over the years. It's wild once like coming from being more like in your shoes and being like a content creator. Like some of you guys actually have really good relationships with modders, better than I do, because you're working with them a lot. But
Mhm.
like yeah, to be like a fan of the game like I was, and then come to work for the developer now, and like you see and get to interact with like content creators and modders that like you've known for years because of what they do to help the community, and now like working to like help the community of farm sim. It's just a really surreal experience for me that I like get to interact with these people. Like never 5 years ago, heck 3 years ago or less, like I would have never imagined myself being at FarmCon in Germany talking to Omatana or DJ Goham or Farmer Cop and Farm Sim Guy, like all of these guys that I've known their stuff for years, but now getting to know them in person is really
Yeah,
cool.
I guess I'm gonna have to dust off the passport and figure out a way to get over there for next year because I need some merch, man.
Yeah, we are still working on. Was that you that was asking me about that recently?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean, and you're not the only one, of course, but yeah, like hopefully merch for North America. It is something that we're still trying to work out. Like people are like, why is it only available here? It's like, well, that's not the long term plan. It's just not as easy as like snapping your fingers and having it done when you're talking about like business deals going on. But yeah, it's in the works. Hopefully, there'll be some movement this year on that, and we can find a distributor and manufacturer, etc. Because yeah, I know you guys are hungry for merch. But yeah, if you can, go to FarmCon. We haven't announced it yet. We will announce it earlier this year than we did last year, just because last year there was still some uncertainties around the tail end of the pandemic, especially in Germany. Like, so we're planning on, getting the word out as soon as we can. There's just some finalizations that need to take place. But yeah, I highly recommend if you're a fan of Farming Simulator, like Driver said, dust off the passport, get yourself a passport, or if you're in Europe already, like you gotta try to make it to a farm con because there's just nothing like it. Um,
It'd be cool if we could have two a year, maybe
yeah.
the U.S. version eventually. You know what I mean?
Eventually,
Eventually.
so here's the thing with that. Of course, I would love it because being the guy for Giants in the community in North America in our Chicago office, like, of course I want it, but it is several years away probably at this point because what people don't realize is like FarmCon, we put that on ourselves entirely. Like Giants doesn't hire a like third party company to come in and set everything up and bring the equipment. Like they have two 18 wheelers with rather large trailers bringing all of the equipment in so that we have all the equipment in house doing it ourselves, setting it all up, tearing it all down. So the whole production is done by Giants, and we just don't have that yet in the U.S. Like we have the office holding, a few pieces of equipment, and that's about it. We don't have, a massive warehouse holding this type of equipment. So yeah, logistically, it would be a little bit tougher to do, but yeah, you never know what the future holds because the U.S. office is still really, even though it's existed physically for nearly a year now. May will be a full year of the actual physical office existing. Yeah, it's really new. It's going to take some time. We will see.
Yeah, I'm excited for the future of Farm Sim. I mean, the year two pack, the DLCs, season pass. Man, I words sometimes words. Um, looking out at the end, the expansion map, that's got me very very intrigued, right? And some of the other DLCs along the way. Um, I'm very very optimistic about the future of Farm Sim. In general, I know there's a lot of limitations that are still kind of put in place right now by the older gen stuff, and once we kind of move on past those, whenever that time is, I think it's just going to be, exponentially that much more awesome. You know,
I really
um,
appreciate like when we get feedback both positive and like constructive, like things that are good, things that aren't great. But one of the things that I think people don't realize is like when they give compliments, like just the other day, another part of my job is to go through our social media accounts and kind of review the messages, make sure everything's nice and clean, see if there's anyone having an issue, point them to the right direction to get help, or maybe just reply to them directly. And someone sent us a DM about something, and then a completely unrelated topic, and then at the end of the conversation they replied back and they're like, by the way, love you guys and what you do. Farming Simulator continues to improve, and like I love this game so much, thanks so much. But like my response back was like, no, thank you, because like without the growth of the community and the support, like the game wouldn't grow, my job wouldn't exist, and the game wouldn't continue to move forward. So thank all of you for putting your love into the game, whether you're a content creator, a modder, or just a fan of the game, being a part of the community. Like that's how the game keeps getting better. Sure, like we can hire more people, we can get more done, and that is part of the process of the game getting more and more support and being more and more successful. But like they definitely go hand in hand. So shout out to all of you as well for loving our game and being those people that play it for thousands of hours, because not many games out there keep your attention for that long. And I think that's one of the special things about our game. Um, yeah. By the way, thanks everyone for the comments in chat as well about like how we could do things, giving suggestions on
and it
how
sounds
to
like
get
all you got
merch
to
and stuff.
put a dealer out there, man, and we're gonna be able to get a lot of volunteers to help you put something together.
Right. And Hendrik, you're right. We don't have a Rosie outfit in the office yet. Um, it only exists in Europe. We do need to get a Rosie outfit in the U.S. at some point. Um, so I want to backtrack real quick. What
Yeah,
first of all, tell me what you're laughing at.
Yost about the frog suit.
Oh.
Sorry.
I want to go back to something you said earlier and just
Hmm.
pay attention to it, because at the time, like we went somewhere else, but it stuck in my brain. You were talking about the challenge, the console versus PC challenge that you did last year
Yeah.
with Farmer Klein. I want to give a call out right now to the community. First of all, be on the lookout on social media and on our website, because there'll be an official post soon. But if you tuned in a couple of weeks ago, I had Argsy and the Farm Sim guy join me for their new logging challenge that is being sponsored by Thrustmaster. This is not an official competition that Giants is putting on, by the way. These two guys have come up with it. They've put in all the work themselves, along with their community. It takes a village to do something cool in Farm Sim for sure. I love these types of things, and I want to do more of these community multiplayers. So here soon, there's going to be social media postings and a blog on the website that'll have a Google form attached. So be on the lookout for that. If your community is doing something cool and unique, you're doing a challenge like console versus PC, or maybe like what XR is doing right now, the challenge that he's put on over on Twitch. Like if you're doing something cool and unique, fill out that form. Tell me about your community, and I want to start doing more of these multiplayer streams where I join people's community and play the game,
Yeah,
because
we actually
it's a lot
started
of fun.
talking. I started talking to the stream crew a little bit about how can we do this in like a 2 hour window, right, for some of our streams, just to kind of spice it up every once in a while. You know what I mean? Instead of the same thing of us farming the same stuff
Right.
all the time, like how could we add a little bit of excitement and like must see, I guess, kind of TV, right, to farms. and we've got some ideas. We do, and it's really cool to see like what they've done with the logging league, right, where they've got the different courses and stuff. And it
Right.
was, and the few times I've been able to watch it, it is very interesting. Like, and I'm even wanting to like try it, right? It's just Saturdays are incredibly busy for me right now. That's really the only day I've got to like work on the house around here, or we're camping. Like, you asked my stream, and they are all about me setting up challenges and then going camping on them. That's what I did in that 30 day the console was PC. The very first day of it, I was like, all right, have fun. I'm going camping for 3 days.
I love it.
Um,
I want to apologize. Sorry to interrupt you. I want to apologize to people in chat because people have been getting moderated by our bot on Twitch. But there's been something that's changed on our chat bot, and I didn't realize it. And so, like, you've put in some people put in like 4 emotes and then been moderated by the bot. So I'm trying to turn that stuff off as we go on. Apologies for all of you. The bot is out of control right now and being way too strict. So apologies. I'm trying to fix it
yeah,
as we go along.
and Seaver there says, ask Driver about the battle royale. So before Precision Farming came out, I think it was like October into November ish of 2020. Sieber, myself, or not Sieber, Sieber was the judge, but we had myself, Crazy Monkey Gaming, and the Red Viking. All did this challenge on the Campaign of France map. Awesome map, by the way. If you're still on 19, you need to check it out. Great small little map. You can expand stuff out, but it's really cool to play on. And the goal was what was it, like 20 hours or something of gameplay, and you had to see who could make the most money in that amount of time, right?
Okay.
And it was fun. It was a really good introduction to like a challenge that didn't take too incredibly long, but it's still it was like 20 days in a row or something we posted on. And yeah, it was the start of all my trophies in Farming Sim. 4B will tell you that he's got one over on me one time, but other than that, I think we're pretty good on challenges here.
Yeah, and I love these unique things. So definitely be on the lookout for that and submit them if you're doing something cool. And Hydra, I like your idea, 30-day challenge between a few different content creators. I still would like
Man.
later in the year when the FSL is ready to come back for season 5, I would love to do that with content creators as well. Do a little bragging rights content creator tournament and get some people together. So that'd be great.
Yeah,
Um,
Doggopop mentioned the speed runs too, and I love speed runs. That's something Clutch and I talked about. We did it in 19 on Ravenport on who could buy the map the fastest, right? Um, and then that kind of evolved into some other stuff where actual speedrun.com went in and had like the tutorials at the very beginning of the game. There was speed running on that, right? And then who could get to like $500,000 and different things like that. And I still think I'm the record holder on um, $500,000 on Ravenport, a profit,
okay. All right.
and it's something like 45 minutes.
Humble brag there by Driver.
Just seeing if anybody else can get in and see if they can challenge. I don't know. I enjoy competition. I mean, like my name, Driver 53, right? I mean, I used to race cars, so I like the competitive
Okay.
aspect of things. So yeah, I mean, I think it's another fun way as long as you're sportsman about it. You know what I mean, and you're not going in and being all super like negative and attacking people and degrading people. I think competition is fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
A
and
little
it leads to
fun,
some
like
really,
poking at each other is okay. Like if anyone
yeah.
watched me and Dave from G Portal on DJ Go Ham stream, and we did that competition like a month or a month and a half ago or so. It was probably longer than that, but time flies. Yeah, we were giving each other crap the entire time, but it was all in the name of fun. That was a lot of fun to do.
So
So yeah,
Farmer
love it.
Farmer Cop said I could do that too if I didn't crash so much. You should have seen my first one. We ended up putting a full semi trailer of grain upside down in the river on Ravenport on the first speed run.
Wow.
So
Okay. Well, last year, I haven't heard anything from No Kid Hungry, a charity. For the last few years, they've had content creators take part in Farming February, and last year, it was my first year at being at Giants when it took place. So Chalky handed it over to me since it's a North American based thing. And I came up with the silage relay that people did as part of that as well. So like it's always really fun, like whether you're coming up with the challenge or taking part in it to be part of these types of things. I love the creativity that people come up with by creating these challenges. It's really cool.
Yeah, I mean that was a great one. And that's really what got me into wanting to stream more with like a instead of so let me backtrack. I love streaming and like jumping into random servers. We did it for a little bit. Pickle did it in 19 and I was like, "Oh, I got to try that." Because now I can jump into like console servers, right, as a PC player. And my absolute favorite time was whenever I had to download like 27 mods to get into Stone Valley map. And
Okay.
then, we were going on and I was asking them, kind of, who their favorite creators are. And they were like, "Oh, DJ and the squad." And then they were like, "Yeah, Clutch is okay," you know? And then they started to put the pieces together and then realized that it was me, right? And they'd watched some of my stuff and saw the channel. And one of them actually started creating content after that. And you know, the No Kid Hungry campaign that we did, even though we didn't raise a lot of money, we had a lot of fun, and it really kind of opened my eyes to like streaming in a multiplayer scenario again, right? And not just going in and playing multiplayer, but actually bringing some of these other people along on our journey and just having a great time. You know what I mean? And I don't think it I don't think it would be as enjoyable as it's been if it wasn't for G Portal. I mean, you mentioned Dave a while ago. Fantastic member of the community here, doing a lot of really awesome things for creators and the community in general, right? Giving us all these awesome servers to use. Um, but yeah, that's what really led into like another type of the streams that we do. I mean, we've got the different servers where we'll jump in and I'll stream public. We'll jump into a new map and we'll set the farm up for everybody. I'll be in there for a few times and then just kind of let the community keep going on it. And that's going back to one of the first questions you asked me. That's why I like multiplayer so much, because we have absolutely no idea. Like all these people that I play with now on Stream Crew, I had no idea who they were 2 years ago. You
Right.
know what I mean? Like absolutely none. And it's a great way to meet new people that are very, very like-minded.
Yeah, like my when I first started playing Farm Sim, it was on 17, and I was streaming on Mixer back when it was still Beam, and I maybe played career mode for 10 minutes, and then one of my friends in chat was like, "You should rent a server. I'll get the game and play with you." And like, so I did that, and like, I probably, if you take away the time I've spent in career mode since I've been hired by Giants, I probably only have 20 minutes of time spent in career mode. Because once I've discovered multiplayer, that was where I wanted to be in the game. Not to say that, like, you can't have fun on career mode either, and I know a lot of people prefer to like play that way, hire the AI, set up chorus play or whatever it may be, and really go at managing everything on your own. But for me, multiplayer is really what opened it up for me. So yeah. Also, I want to say hello to Jenny from Giants in chat. We were talking about her. She'll be with me at PAX East. So hopefully, you guys, if you can make it out, come say hello to us. Say hello to those guys I mentioned before earlier as well, who are going to be there. DJ Goham, Farmer Cop, the Farm Sim guy is coming over from Scotland as well to join us. Farmer Klein's coming up for the weekend, and hopefully more will be joining in soon too. We'll have an official announcement on that here soon. Yeah, okay. We are now actually getting towards the end of the stream, so let me get back on track now. 20 minutes ago,
Absolutely.
I was like, "Oh, we've got plenty of time," and but now let's get back on track to the planned questions. Okay, um, I think that you've kind of already hit on this a little bit, but let's expand on it now. What is your favorite thing or things about the farming simulator community? You've been playing the game since 2020, which really, almost 3 years now. It's really a short amount of time if you think about it, but like
Mhm.
you have grown really well in that time. You've been able to find an awesome community. What is it that you love about the community?
So about the community, I have to lump the modders into it, right? Because they listen. Like whenever we're like, hey, is this possible? We'd love to have this, right? Especially from like a console standpoint, right? I mean, these modders are going above and beyond to make these mods, console compatible, right? And they're really, to me, a big reason why the community, is as tight as it is, right? Because nothing against base game, okay, nothing against base game, but it kind of gets the same thing over and over and over, right? When before mods came out, man, I don't know how in the world I streamed for like a month and a half on this, the same
Right.
map with the same mods, and it was like, oh man, I couldn't imagine doing 2 years of that, right? So them giving us really awesome things, right, to get excited about, or to to not only like improve our gameplay, right, but to like bring back some memories. Like for those of us that grew up around some of the farming things, it's
Right.
like, man, that's pretty cool. Like I remember that tractor sitting off in the field, or working the field, or that harvester, right? That was my granddad's, or that was, I saw this thing, just traveling down the interstate. Like I always saw that. I saw that. You know what I mean? And those stories, right? I mean, that is what is so cool about it to me. Now I know there are a few members in the community that are a little bit negative, but overall, the community is a very, very positive place. It doesn't matter if you're on like Facebook, the console group over there. I mean, a lot of the different discords and things. People want to help each other. I feel like in the community, right? And this is just like the channel is kind of an extension, right, of that kind of what the community's after. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like you got questions, it's like let's try and answer them. And there's a lot of other creators have talked about it too. Like people stop in during a stream and ask a question. They're like, okay, well, let's show you how to do it, right? And I mean that's really, when you wrap it all together, that's the biggest thing. Like people helping each other to enhance their gameplay, whether they want to use that exact thing or modify it a little bit and do something a little slightly different. I mean,
Right.
I think that's the biggest thing to me, is just how helpful and kind of genuine the whole community is, like to enhance everybody else's gameplay.
I love that. That's really well put. I couldn't have said it better myself. And I've talked a bit about like how I work with content creators, both like established and new. And one thing I've noticed is I'll be watching a live stream of someone. I'm always looking out both for people I already know and new people. So like sometimes though I'm sitting in someone I haven't seen before, and it's like their stream title is like first time playing Farm Sim or whatever, and I see a lot of the same people popping into these streams, and they're like willing to sit and help this newcomer figure things out. And like that is so
Yeah.
cool for me to see as a community coordinator, because like there's no better way to learn the game than learning from each other. So it's really cool to see that the game is starting to be played by variety streamers more and more too. And so maybe they play other games throughout the year, but they always like they're coming back to Farm Sim to play it for a month here, a month there, or whatever. So it's really cool to see like the communities connecting together, and you guys being willing to help each other in any way possible. Like you're doing it with your videos, Driver. You're making tutorial type stuff, and so many other people are doing awesome stuff like that. Then you've got guys like DJ Goham and others who are like keeping you up to date on like all the news that is news in Farming Simulator, and keeping you up to date with like the latest of what's going on. And then you've got the modders as well, who like collaborate and work together to create awesome things for the game to keep it fresh. So yeah, really well said, and really awesome to hear that. Someone actually gave me good feedback about our official Discord server, which, if you're a fan of the game and you're not in it, I highly recommend you do it. The Looking for Players channel. I was never really aware of like how effective it could be because I've not used it personally. But just the other day, I was talking to a streamer who was like, "Hey, yeah, I set up a new server, and we wanted to like try to get more people on it and try to fill the server up. So I used the Looking for Players channel on your Discord, and like he's like, it's the first time I've ever filled up an entire server full of people. So like, yeah,
Holy cow.
so use all of these utilities that are at your disposal. Don't be afraid to reach out to people, ask for help, and that goes for me too. I was just talking to one of our Discord moderators earlier, and we were chatting about like, hey, so and so who is a Giants partner has a question. I'm like, yeah, don't be afraid to reach out to me. I may be busy or whatever, but like I feel like people are afraid to like bug me or something, but it's literally my job to be here for you guys. So never be afraid to bug me as well, and reach out if you have questions or you have suggestions, or you want to participate in a challenge or something like that. This year for me, like we're gonna be doing more different types of streams. I'm trying to get more and more creative with what we're doing so that we can connect with you guys on a more regular basis. I love these spotlight streams. But we want it to be more than just the spotlights this year. So that we've already done the community multiplayer with the logging challenge, but there's so much more that we want to do this year. And to go back to what you said earlier, like about the year two season pass, like I think that you guys are going to be pretty happy. And we're never going to make everyone happy all the time. That's okay. If you don't like something, it's not for you. Maybe, hopefully, the next one will be. But there's some cool stuff coming. So before too much longer, you should be hearing about the first DLC of the pack, because it was slated to come out in the first quarter of the year. So yeah, we're already into February. Time has flown
Yeah,
by.
yeah, DJ and we were talking about this the other day. It's like the trip, the get together we did in March. He actually had to leave early because the first DLC, Antonio Carrera, was coming out right
Right.
that the next Tuesday. So he's like, "Oh, I got to cut the trip short today." So we were like giving him a hard time. We're like, "Do you really have to go? Like, really, really?" Uh, like, man, we should be getting word any day. Like Kermit's gonna be like spilling the beans any day about what we're gonna be seeing here on this first DLC. I'm
Yeah.
excited though. I really am. The image of the bale with the corn on it. I mean, that's
You want to put your tinfoil hat on real quick? We have some time still. You want to just throw out, and I'll look stoically into the camera, and you can throw out any kind of ideas
so for
that
that
you
one
think is
right
gonna be.
there. Yeah, for that one right there, I'm thinking, tinfoil hat. It's gonna be, obviously gonna be able to bail corn stalks, right? It's kind of similar to some of the other maps that we've seen out already, that you can do that with. But I think you're gonna be able to use it with the animals a little bit more, and there maybe even be some new pieces of equipment that we're gonna be able to use, like balers potentially, or like straw blowers, things like that. Is kind of what I'm thinking and hoping is what we'll get on this first one.
Okay, he said it. I looked stoically into the camera. I did my job. He did his. Oh, I love it. Okay, yeah, you guys won't have to wait too much longer to find out what it's going to be. I think that you guys will be, pleasantly surprised with it. So, yeah, cool stuff in the works for sure. Um, by the way, I want to go back to what Goggle Pop said. To be fair, Kermit is famous for being unapproachable and vicious. Slash S for sarcasm, of course. Like, DJ
Yeah.
Kermit twitched. You saw it, right? DJ's gonna. He's doing a video that he didn't plan right now. He's gonna take that clip
Yep.
and be like, "All right, so Kermit's left eye twitched right at the moment that Driver said this. So does that mean?" I'm
Yep.
only
Yep.
kidding.
Tulips, man. We know one creator that would absolutely love to have tulips in a DLC. A mod, period. That's favor farming, and he is all about the tulips.
You
It'd make
never
for pretty
know.
maps. It would make for pretty maps.
You're right about that. You're right about that. Okay. Um, let's start to wrap things up now. Oh, this is too much fun. I love it. Leakerton. Oh wait, wrong community coordinator. Uh,
It won't be as
okay.
bad as my Komodo. But yeah,
The weird
I
thing
don't know.
is DJ went off on like a tangent with that, but he wasn't wrong technically either. Like what he found had nothing actually to do with it, but he wasn't wrong. This is the funny thing.
It
So you
it
never know.
truly drove him crazy trying to figure it out.
Oh man, it always cracks me up too. Like the jokes I get from people, like, and of course, you guys know that I'm never going to spill anything, but it doesn't stop people from asking. Whenever I'm with people in person, especially like when I was with Clutch last year, both at both Kubota events, we did like the video shoot, and then they invited us to Kubota Connect. He's like, "You want to open that laptop up and show me anything while we're here, Kermit?" I won't tell anyone. I totally won't go make a YouTube video about it. It's always funny to get those jokes from you guys. Um, Okay. What would okay, this is time to speculate again, but this is a fun part of speculation, okay?
Okay.
And my disclaimer, what we're about to talk about is nothing official, but Driver's going to dream big. Driver, if you could have a few things without any limitations added to the future farming simulator titles, what would those things be?
Me personally, one thing I want to see is sod and peanuts. So two things.
One
New
thing
crops.
that I want to see is two things.
Like new crops, I think would be cool, and I think we're gonna get that later on this year, right? With it looks like carrots or turnips or something. So I'm excited about that. But like if you go back to 19, some of those maps in the last few months, you were getting carrots and onions and triticale, rice. I mean, all kinds of crops, right? That you could
Right.
still use the same equipment on, and I think it'd be cool for new types of equipment, right? Peanut harvester is completely different, than anything else we've really got in game, right? And sod, I mean, you got grass fields, you could make sod, right, and sell that off. And there's so many other crops that you could do too. I think that is one of the bigger kind of ways to expand out on farming a little bit more.
Okay.
That's a it's a bigger change, right? There's other little nuances, things that I think we could do along the way. But I think that would be kind of a bigger you know kind of shock right off the bat, give people another new way to play the game, right? The biggest thing for my community, they were talking about like 4x maps, right? And from what we heard a couple weeks ago and even today, DJ was talking about Taylor Farms trying to get that map through on console. That's going to be huge. You know what I mean? Absolutely huge. And that was something that, when I was doing my videos looking at 22, I was like, 4x maps. We need some bigger maps, more room to be able to do things, right? But one thing that I would like to see is being able to link all of my maps together, right? And have the same bank account, have a garage, but link all of my maps together. That way, it doesn't matter if I'm in Stone Valley or if I'm in Griffin or if I'm in Europe, right? My equipment can travel with me. So you've got a garage placed on your map that you go into, kind of like SnowRunner. And as long as you put your equipment in there, then that can go anywhere with you, right? And you get the
Okay.
same bank account. And that way you don't have to worry about, okay, on this map, I'm using this equipment. This map, I'm using this equipment. From a console standpoint, you could have your favorite mods that you just load in all the time, right? And you could just keep adding another map. You know what I mean? And taking maps away and bringing another map in. And then you just get to go out and have fun, and all your equipment's already there. It's right at your farm. You know what I mean? You don't have to worry about reconfiguring everything, especially like with one of David's trucks. I mean, oh my goodness. I mean, it takes 20 minutes to design one of his trucks sometimes, you know?
Right. All
And
yeah, there's so many options. I love it though.
yeah,
I'm a sucker
but
for
I
that
think,
kind of thing. Give me more customizations.
right? But I think being able to link maps together, that's something that I would really like, just to be able to jump around. You know what I mean? It
Okay.
sometimes it's that first 2 hours of gameplay that's just like, man, do I really want to start another map? You know what I mean? And then you get into like 100 hours and you're like, oh, what else do I do? You know what I mean? But then you want to come back to it. And on console, you only got 10 game saves, and then you got to get rid of them. You know what I mean? PC, obviously, we always be able to save, but on console, I mean, if you got 10 or 12 maps you really like, you got to start making choices. You know what I mean? And I think if you had one game mode where you could just jump around anywhere, take the same equipment around, you could just, you know what I mean, just have fun, play a different map, all the time. Maybe, I don't know.
I love that idea. No one has like I've heard a similar suggestion before where like you could like do like you could drive from one map to another within multiplayer, but like you're talking more about like the progression of one map carrying over to the other. So it's something new that I've not really heard before, and I like the idea. Who knows what the future holds? Of course. By the way, YouTube chat, you guys are way too much right now. I love
Oh,
it
they're
though.
all
I love it. Yeah. Who knows? But that would be cool. And if you guys know Klein Farmer, one of our Discord moderators, and he is in a lot of people's chats as well. Like, he's going to take your idea and say that he should be the one, like a little virtual version of him should be the one that transports your equipment from one map to the next, if that ever is added into the game, because that's what he does in real life. Is he transports equipment around, farming equipment.
And I
Uh,
could see like like another PDA, right? Whenever you load in your menu, it's just like a map of the world, and you like get to zoom into where you want to go your map. You know what I mean? Because
yeah.
the way I understand it, the way that the seasons work now, it's like you got latitude and longitude already marked in there, so it's gonna know exactly where at in the world that map is at. So you just boop, hey, I want to be here in Griffin today, or hey, I want to go up to Saskatchewan tomorrow, or you know what I mean, Brazil. And I think it would be real.
Oh man, you guys are killing me. Farmer Cop said, "I'm just here for Driver 53 in the leaks, and stay tuned to Farm Sim News for more info on the upcoming Tulip expansion." Yeah, none of what we talked about is official, but you never know what will come in the future for sure. And I love it. I love it when you guys speculate, and that's one of my favorite things. Is like when we do these little teases, like we did with Kubota, like we did with Platinum, like when I know that we're about to post these things, I'm so excited to go and like see what everyone speculates on. It's one of my favorite things to do as the community coordinator and being an employee of Giants, because I am one of you guys. I'm a fan of the game before I got hired, but now I get access to the inside information, right? And so it's really fun for me coming from that background to see all of your reaction and see like the speculation and how much fun you guys have at speculating everything too. So
Yeah.
I love it.
I think the biggest thing the console players in whole are looking forward to is when you guys are going to announce GPS for console.
Right. Yeah, that's one we get a lot. That's one we get a
Yeah.
lot is like, is that ever going to come into the game? And of course, like I'll say it 1,000 times, but I can't say it enough. Like, keep giving us that feedback. The more we hear things, the more that we can push them along. You never know what will be added. Like, we heard a lot of feedback about audio, and now you see the improvement for it in 22. The productions as well. Like a lot of people were really into those sorts of mods and having it as a feature now. You mentioned that as one of your favorite things. So, we
Mhm.
love these types of feedback, and we're always willing to listen to the positive and the constructive. So don't be afraid to reach out on Discord and
You know,
places like
we could
that.
probably talk for like another hour about all the other little enhancements and things that I think would even be possible with some of the already the physics or mechanics of the game. I think there's definitely some more things we could do.
Right. Yeah. No, we could sit here and talk for an hour. Maybe DJ and Clutch can have you on a farm sim show soon, so that you can you can do
That
it on that.
that would
That's
be
the right
fun,
place to
man.
sit for an hour and just go crazy, right?
And
Um,
speculate. Yes, yes.
okay. It is about time to wrap things up. Raznek, did you say that you were going to be at PAX earlier in chat? By the way, can you confirm that for me? Kermit's amusement is mocking our speculation. I'm not mocking it. I just love it. I really do. Like whether like it's like way out in left field and just absolutely bizarre, or you are like closer to being to the realistic. I love it all. It's so much fun, and that's why I always save this question for last too. Like because the thing is like you guys love the game so much that you know what would make you love it even more. So I always like to hear those things about it. Okay, cool, Raznak. Awesome, man. So there's another one added to the list coming to PAX. Awesome. It's going to be a fun time. Be on the lookout for more news about PAX. We are going to hopefully be able to plan some sort of community meetup outside of the convention. We haven't confirmed those plans yet, but we will have that information out within the next week or so, hopefully. And then, yeah, the community multiplayer forum that will be going out soon too. Be on the lookout for that. Let me know what your community is doing that's really cool, unique, and I would love to, see if we can showcase you on a future stream. Okay, Driver.
Yes.
We can find you at Driver 53 Gaming on YouTube. That's where you're doing all your content. So,
Yep.
guys, if you're not already following this guy, make sure you subscribe to him on YouTube. I'm going to get the link in chat for you all real quick. Definitely go drop him a follow. and yeah,
Yeah,
subscribe
yeah. And
and
it's not just
watch that
it's
content.
not just the tutorial stuff. I mean, we do a couple live streams a week too. So
Cool.
we and I'm more than willing if you guys want to come hang out. We can keep speculating here on some new stuff
There you
what the
go.
DLCs are gonna be. We can definitely keep this going.
Do it. Yeah, I
So
think that it's going to be a big year for farming simulators. So yeah, it seems like there's been a little bit of a lull now. Like we're almost 3 months since Platinum came out, and we had the holidays in between and the start of the year. A lot of us from the community team have been out sick and stuff. We're all back now. So yeah, things are going to start to pick up from here on out now. Once we get past these next couple of weeks, things are going to really take off. So it's going to be another exciting year for fans of the game. Okay, Driver, thanks so much. Do you have any parting words?
man, I'd love to see you guys all hang out. Stream. We're gonna be back tonight. In literally like less than 6 hours, we'll be kicking off our stream.
Sweet.
Gonna have a good time. Hopefully, gonna be looking at. I don't know if I'm gonna be looking at a new map yet. I mean, there was a new one console that came out today that might be pretty cool. Kind
Cool.
of depends how much time I get. Or we'll be hanging out in multiplayer. Either way, it's always a really good time. Usually a couple hours stream and get to catch up, tell you guys what all I did over the weekend too. Had a lot of fun.
Perfect.
So
Go check them out later today and in the future as well. We'll be back next week, same time, same channels with Facebook partner, Giants partner, Mayan Profit, who I saw in chat earlier. So hopefully you guys will tune out to that one and get to know someone that maybe you don't know their name as much in the spotlight, but a really awesome guy who I've known for several years as well. So looking forward to that one. And then we'll have a couple of weeks off. We'll have Ultrasaurus joining us on March 1st in the spotlight, and then March 15th is going to be Lancy Boy. Those are the ones that are scheduled from this point, and then I'm going to be working on the schedule beyond that here soon too. Thanks for all the kind words, for all the laughs, the good times, the crazy speculations. We'll see you next week. Until then, keep being awesome, everyone. Thank you so much.
see y'all.